Welcome to another episode of Stud and Dud presented by the Dallas School of Music. Welcome. Thank you for listening. I am Josh Smith. With me each week, Dr. Bob Lawrence. What's up, Doc?
Doing great, Josh. Ready for another? Hey, man, it's just you and me. What the heck?
I know, right? 3 weeks in a row. We're kind of getting used to having guests. I kind of feel lonely.
Yeah.
Right?
Can we fill the time?
I think we can.
Okay.
Everyone knows I talk enough.
God knows that.
But 3 in a row. Let's thank those guests again.
Yes.
For all the way back, honestly, with Steve. Great having
Steve Kent.
Then we had Basil on. David Basil. Great. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Oh, and actually, before that, I forgot. Before that, we even had Rob Flickinger.
Well, we had Rob Flickinger.
Then we had David Basil.
No, I think it was the other way around.
I am. I'm getting mixed up in my show. Hey, we're getting so deep. Oh, that's good that I'm thinking, hey, I'm flipping them around. This is 10th episode, you know?
So Steve Kent, MLB pitcher.
Yep. Then Rob Flickinger.
Then
David Basil.
No.
And then, Rob Flickinger.
David Basil.
Then
Rob Flickinger.
Man, see, I'm still doing that.
Dude,
I don't know why I'm thinking
Mother's
Basil.
Day got you all messed up.
It did. I got so much to think about.
Did you get Mom taken care of?
And then I got Mom, I got you taken care of.
Okay.
Lunch is coming at noon, so here in about an hour and a half, she has a chef salad, ranch dressing, chocolate shake every time.
Wait a minute. Did you make this and
send it to her? Yeah, right. I wish. Yeah, how would that happen? I don't know. But Purple Cow, it's a great restaurant. There used to actually be one in DFW when they were kind of expanding. Didn't last too long, unfortunately. But they have 2 in Little Rock. Great restaurants, great shakes. It's kind of known for their shakes. You can go there and get good burgers, fries, that kind of place.
Hey, speaking of great restaurants, we got a great chef that's going to be joining us as one of our guests.
Are we not?
World-renowned chef.
Maybe next week.
But hey, well, we're not even going to announce any names yet.
All right, cool. But yes, we may have a great food guest joining us finally. We got baseball covered, music covered, football covered. We're going to get basketball covered.
Right.
But yeah, some food.
Oh my god.
Which we're going to get into later today.
I'm fired up about all those things, but I got to be honest with you, man. A world-class chef coming in here to talk a little bit about food.
Yeah. And hopefully maybe get him to bring something in.
I'm hoping
too. Got my new Air Jordans on. Can you see those bad boys? Got them on. May the 4th be with you, Doc. Forgot to bring that up. That was on Saturday.
Yes.
May the 4th be with you.
Got
a little Star Wars in, but definitely got my shoes on that morning.
Where'd you get these bad boys?
Got these on Saturday. These were the original colorway with the Nike Air on the back. 'Cause usually now they'll have the Jumpman symbol on the back.
Yeah.
Nike original colorway from '89, the Bread 4s. These would probably make the final colorway. Remember, because the 4s made it, but it had a different color pair in here.
I'm telling you right now, man. I'm going to bring you in a pair of Converse, Chuck Taylor Converse.
And you got to look. These look older. You can't tell me these look like some new. These are some old school looking shoes. They don't look. These are from '89. You're looking at them like they look like they're new. They are new.
I'm bringing you in some Chuck Taylor Converse All-Stars, man. That's what you need.
All right. Well, in the background, just because I was kind of pointing at that in the opening segue, look at this website up and rolling. Look at that beautiful logo we got going. I hope it's beautiful. Let us know what you think about it.
It is beautiful. Stud and Dud, man.
Jeez.
We got sports.
I took a few hours on that, by the way, a couple.
You did that.
Anyway, I did. I can at least say I came up with that logo, which is awesome. So hopefully you like it. Let us know. But the website, there it is. Instead of sports on today, we'll throw the website up there.
And speaking of the website, I just want to do another shout out for Darren Laporte. We have tickets available.
Boom, boom, boom.
On the
up
website.
Top, tickets. You see them up there.
Absolutely. You can go. Darren will take care of you. The American Airlines Center has some great concerts coming up. I know the Stars are done, but
we'll get into that.
Yeah, great concerts coming up. Darren will take care of you. Those links, by the way, are on our tickets, on our website, on the tickets.
Speaking of which, I added to my concert summer series.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep. So I'll be seeing another concert. Not there, unfortunately. It's at the Pavilion. All of a sudden a new tour was announced and jumped right on.
And you're on it.
I'm boom. I was like, hey, they're doing a tour. Gotta see them. So definitely another concert added to it. But let's get to what's on tap today.
Let's do it.
Playoff talk. As you just mentioned, of course, we'll talk about our poor Dallas Stars. They lost in Game 7 the other night. We'll get into that. Also, some NBA playoffs. Really good, actually, this year. Hadn't watched too much of the games, but when I'm going to dive back into a lot of the score. Obviously, you see the scores, but then you dive back into the...
Yes, across the board, much better.
Much better.
Much better product.
Yes. But yeah, when you dive into the actual, obviously you see the highlights, you're like, wow, these are good games. I mean, like I said, I'm trying to catch as much as I can, and there's been some really good games. I mean, we'll get into those. Speaking of a 4 overtime one that's crazy. 4 overtimes?
Yeah.
We'll also get into, which we just talked about, food. Cinco de Mayo, we'll kind of get into, I've got to talk about what I made for sure. We'll see if you had anything. We'll talk about Mother's Day too, see what you do.
Yes.
Because a lot of people go out to eat. That's the one day of all holidays. Obviously, it is a holiday. People tend to go out to eat more so than any other holiday.
They want to spoil mom.
And they don't want to do dishes because they're not doing them, and mom is certainly not doing them. That's A1A right there.
I don't want to be the dud that says, "Hey, Mom, can you do the dishes on Mother's Day?" Come on, man.
So in the coveted Stutter Dud segment, we will talk about the Kentucky Derby blunder. I mean,
oh my gosh.
Wow, really?
Yeah, right.
And oh man, but yeah, we'll talk about that, which we led into our midweek update, which hopefully you guys are liking. The little midweek updates we're doing.
I like it.
Hey, we got to get you more talking more on those too.
Well, it's kind of hard with you talking.
I know, right?
I mean, come on, it's hard for me to get a word in edgewise.
Hey, well, I like you back on the piano though. That with the I got to show you the dud reel I made. I'm gonna post it today. Remember all the clips?
All the outtakes, huh?
Yeah, I've got an outtake dud reel. All right, so also on tap in the Stutter Dud segment, LeBron. I'm just so sick of this. Does he really ever want to coach?
Oh my gosh.
Does he? But a good highlight, and I did kind of mention this last week, and when we got to mention Dave Van Horn, 1,000 wins. That is a stud among studs.
Hey, man, did you watch the game last? No, you didn't. Did you watch the game last night? The Hogs?
No,
you didn't watch the Hogs.
Did not. Were they on SEC Network?
Come on, man. They were. The Hogs are playing LSU. Thumped LSU.
Nice.
Like 14.
I was watching the NBA until I passed out. You text me at like 9:45. I get up at 7 o'clock this morning. I'm like, I was out, dog. If it's not by about 9:30, unless it's a night I am endeared to the night, I am snoring by 9:30.
Yeah, you probably late.
I set my alarm at 6:40. I'm up at 6:40 every morning.
Well, good. That's good.
Yeah.
Early bird gets the worm, man.
Hey, it's exactly what Deckmar Trade says every time, as in the pre-market. And he's like, hey, there's a lot of plays. And anyway, but yes, exactly. You got to get up early if you want to find your play.
Yeah, so, yeah, man.
But anyway,
Arkansas thumped them 14-4.
Because I was looking forward to it because this is, I think, the last series until they head into the SEC playoffs.
Yeah,
I think so.
Coming.
Hey,
Arkansas is looking good, man.
And isn't LSU ranked?
Yes,
that's what I thought.
Of course, yeah.
Hey, trying to tell your son, don't go. I'm not gonna name the Texas. Well, I guess I will. It's a podcast. We call them the faggies back in Arkansas. I'm just gonna be.
That's terrible, man.
Well, we can't go there.
That's not even politically correct.
I guess it anymore. But you can't go. We can't go to LSU. They have the worst fans of all time. So you're not gonna go to LSU. You kidding me? You know me, Robert Felton, a football player I played with. He said by far the worst place he's ever played at, and hardly ever felt comfortable playing there because it's one of those old school stadiums. It's like War Memorial in Little Rock. So you're really close to the players,
right? Yelling
at them. That what kind of you think faggy's bad? Oh, you think that's bad? Compared to what Robert Felton was yelled. Anyway, and it's just a part of the game. Unfortunately, that's just what, especially once you start drinking,
fans.
What obnoxious fans are going to do. Any sport, doesn't matter if it's college or I guess high school sport. Well, you see some obnoxious fans in high school too,
right?
Even in probably Pee Wee, in little leagues and stuff. I know you.
Yes, you do. Obnoxious parents.
Exactly. So regardless, you're never getting away from those. But anyway, LSU, why are you going to go there? Alabama, hey. But I know you're looking at, and I completely agree, you're going for a full ride, baby. I mean, are you kidding me? If any school gives you a full ride and stuff on top of the fact.
That's where he's going to go.
Now, and let me just get into this. I guess you won't really find out until this next coming year, right? Junior year. And now, well, I guess when they offered, did they offer? Because I never offered anything in my life, so that's amazing. Right. So you get my point, being offered anything.
Yeah, I think.
But when they offer something, do they tell you what it is? Do they say, you're getting a full ride plus, do they tell you off the bat?
Yeah, I believe so. It's all new to me, too.
Okay, yeah.
Right. But it doesn't. You're correct. It doesn't happen until junior year because I think NCAA rules are such that.
I was just wondering how that works. I wonder if they tell you, and that's what I'm saying. If you find out right away, or do you have to wait till you commit, and then they're like, they've got to tell you. That's not,
no. I think that's all up front.
Yeah, they go say, hey, here's what you're getting.
Right.
I can't wait to find out. I'm intrigued, man. But my point, go the Hogs. You see what they're doing? Beating up LSU.
The Hogs are looking good.
LSU fans, Hog fans are always good. Hog fans are so nice.
Yeah, and
Arkansans, come on, man. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Anyway.
So
back to the game.
Back to the game, man. It was a good game.
Yeah, and I literally forgot about that because I was going through social media on ours because I've obviously followed much more sporting athletics on Instagram. I'm going to tell you, by the way, follow us on Stud
right. Dud. But that's just kind of the we talk about this. My son and I, my boys and I, we talk about this all the time. College baseball just doesn't get the hype, man, that college football does.
Yeah, that's what we're just talking about. Literally, when you're talking about, that's still we're talking about texting. We're always texting, and I think it was last week, but whatever. When we're talking about the Hog baseball game, or I think it was earlier this week about the Alabama Arkansas thing. Like, man, you go to Bam. Of course, I'm just talking. If it was straight up, everyone's giving you the same thing. I'm like, Doc. Arkansas. I'm just, just being, because I'm a homer too. But then I'm throwing stats out there at you. And then he's like, man, that last year still must hurt. We're talking about the World Series. Like, hey, one catch away. It's like they need to learn to go play catch with old Steve Kent, because Steve Kent was talking about how he go back to the basics and learn how to play catch. And he's like, man, that still must hurt you. And I was like, not near as much as if it was a basketball or especially a football championship.
Right. Yeah,
and I don't know what that is. I think, like I said, it's the new age of where we're so much more intrigued with football, especially A1A, and then basketball, at least especially in Arkansas. Then basketball comes second because we had that great run and had that tradition of really being more of a basketball program after we were a football program. But then, yeah, even baseball, that has been, and even Basil, we brought this up. I was talking to him last week on their show, 103.7 The Buzz, the show he's on, going, it just doesn't get the limelight for whatever reason. He's been on top of everything. He's been even when he was on the show, I think we talked about it. He's been the coach on the Hill for the last decade, winning 1,000 games in his whole career, and yet he's getting how much recognition up there on the Hill?
Right.
Yes, and taking him to the World Series last year, and still they're probably talking about football and basketball. We were just a catch away from winning a championship, and they're still.
Right. You have to kind of have to look for a college baseball game on TV.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I asked if it was on SEC Network last night, because sometimes they're not. I'm like, really, you're playing this, or this is on SEC Network right now, not a real good game that could be on?
In fact, I think most people don't even realize that college baseball's on TV.
Right. So, but great game.
Great game.
So now I've got to watch some baseball this weekend. Now that I know they're playing, like I said, I was on social media yesterday and I saw that, and I should have looked more into it. Like, they're playing LSU, blah blah blah. It's great. But I was like going on. Now the weekend, now it's time. Now that's when I do this. I'm like, okay, now I can kind of coast down and catch up.
Right.
Speaking of catch up, that was great. I said that. Let's do a little catch up ourselves. Do you watch Game of Thrones?
I do not.
I don't either. It's a huge program, obviously on HBO.
Listen, everybody in the world does, but me.
Yeah, well, us, obviously.
Yes. So I guess we would be done.
Yeah, literally. I guess and people were like, God, what? You don't watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
No, we don't. I thought for the longest time it was called Game of Thorns.
I act like I do.
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a great show.
Well, the one thing that did happen last week, and there's no way this happened because I've been on sets. Did you see what happened last week?
No, I don't watch it.
Well, it made news regardless. I didn't watch it either.
Oh, okay.
They left supposedly, say we're having a scene,
Somebody died?
No, well, someone did die. But, and I almost got into that, but the biggest thing was someone left a Starbucks coffee mug on set. So, and the picture was everyone's kind of in mid-scene, and the blonde girl, the white-haired almost girl, the younger girl that you always see on Game of Thrones, I forgot what her name. Anyway, she's sitting there at this old school wooden table, and kind of adjacent to her, but in front of her, can't mistake it. And if you really zoom in, you can see the green on it, but you point being, you see the white mug. You can tell it's a cotton with the little brown thing around it. You can totally tell it's a Starbucks coffee, and it kind of see the actual logo. Now, the point being, they're trying to dismiss this as if they forgot it or didn't even see it was there. Didn't know it was there.
So what's the big deal? Because Game of Thrones takes place when?
Back in the, I don't even know what. Back when dragons suppostly flew around.
Dude, Starbucks been around forever.
Oh, yeah, right? Yeah. They were just, they may not, they should have put it in something exactly, though. But yeah, they were serving coffee. It was probably called,
right?
Star Rocks.
Star Rocks.
Yeah, because everyone's like, oh, rocks. Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Yeah, give me, I'm like, yeah, it was a long time ago, hundreds of years ago.
Starbucks been around forever.
But they're trying to say they didn't know it was by mistake. And there's no way I've been on sets that you leave. It'd be like this. Leaving that on set and the camera's facing it. You don't leave that there unless... Just for a reason.
Oops.
Yeah, and especially if my point being, we're supposed to be in, say this is like we're in a Western, and all of a sudden we're drinking out. Yeah, we're in a restaurant, and we're completely dressed for the scene. We're in some old honky tonk, well, not old honky.
And your cell phone rings.
Exactly. And I pick up this Yeti Denver Broncos mug or whatever tumbler, and I'm like, Or just by chance of sitting there.
You're right.
I'm like, yeah, you didn't see that Starbucks coffee mug.
Cut.
With all the swords and the bows and arrows and the stinky supposed people walking around because it's 12. Yeah, exactly. Another royal baby was born.
Yes.
Did you see that?
Archie?
Sure.
Is it Archie?
I think so. I was looking for the name, and that was 2 days ago.
I think it's Archie. I love Archie.
It's a great name.
It's a great name.
So that was good for them. I like that. Meghan Markle, got an American. Good for her. She got in there.
Boy, I'm telling you.
Hey, good for her. U.S. and China. This kind of affects me in the trade and a little bit with the markets, but U.S. China. Like 2 days ago, Trump comes out and makes it seem like it's a done. I can't stand him on Twitter. We're always making fun of him in chat. It's a done deal, pretty much. Essentially, can't wait to make. And then the next day, nope, not going to happen. Tariffs are going up 25%. I'm like, God. Anyway, I just think it's goofy that the goon we got running up there, and then the stuff he tweets out. All day long.
Twitter is a...
I really can't believe... Yeah, well, I just can't.
It'd be best just to leave it alone.
He's not going to.
Yeah.
Not at all. But I just think it's funny, though. I'm like, God bless, dude. Would you leave it alone? But yeah. So anyway, tariffs up 25%. We'll see if we ever get that deal done. Could be months. Could be years. It just affects me because of the markets. I'm like, man, other than that...
So breathe in, breathe out.
What goods are going to be taxed 25% more that I'm even worried about? We'll see.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I don't know. I have no idea, man.
My shoes. Those are.
Oh, that would impact you, man.
Oh, it's on the side. I was gonna see where these are made at, but it says Taiwan or it says China probably.
Yeah.
All right, let's get in. Oh no, the other thing though too, and it's you see, but when do we ever? And I doubt we ever will. I don't know what it's gonna take. I really don't. But two school shootings in the last 2 weeks.
Right.
Just don't know when. I just don't understand what it's gonna take for these people to finally do something.
It's not gonna end.
Yeah, I guess it's not.
Ever.
If it hadn't yet.
If you take all the guns away, there's going to be something else. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah. They'll be doing some stupid bombs, I'm sure, or something.
People do
handmade bombs.
People do violent things.
Yeah. Oh, certainly so. Certainly so. Now to some playoff talk.
Let's talk playoffs.
Stars, boy, oh boy, they had them. They were up 3-2. They had the series won, could have won back home. Oh, so close.
I know. Well, you know.
Those are the worst when you're up 3-2 and you have a home to clinch it. Then you have to go back there and you're like, okay, we can still get it.
You've seen the controversial shot on the wraparound, right?
Yeah.
Man, did you slow that down? That looks like a goal.
It's like something we'll get to in a little bit, the Kentucky Derby.
It looks like a goal.
Yeah.
If they spend 20 minutes on the Kentucky Derby, you think you could at least spend 30 seconds on the Stars wraparound goal? That was a goal. That would...
Yeah, I'm
getting a little emotional, man.
Officials, man, they've affected, and I told this to Dad, and Dad brought it up.
Goodness.
Thank gosh, both of them on their show, and I said it's a good point. And I got the shout out on Monday. Officials have really affected a lot of outcomes of big events over the last
it's
few
replay
years.
has.
Oh yeah, replay. But officials, though, a lot of the time go to replay. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's the 20 minutes. Come on, give me a break, right?
I don't understand. Like my point being, like A&M and the. I think what was it, the championship game where they went to the
right.
Why do they have to go to the replay? What was the point? You see, they didn't have to go to the replay. It's like sometimes they just want to. It's like they want to force something. They want to almost be a part of the outcome.
Well, it's like the call in the Final Four in NCAA basketball that the ball.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that the one?
Yeah, and then A&M. That's what I'm saying. It's like Texas A&M. Yeah, and that was in the finals.
Was that A&M?
Yeah, A&M because they were in the championship game.
Okay.
Yeah, or
Tech.
Tech.
Right, that's what.
Texas Tech, 2 games in a row. Essentially,
it's ridiculous.
Where replay one, they didn't replay it. Where the dude double dribbled. I'm like, why didn't you replay that? But then the next game went off the dude in the championship game.
Dude, when you got to slow it down.
That was Virginia, I should say. Virginia got away with it. One game they didn't get the call. That was against Auburn. Remember, that's what we're talking about. Where it should have been a double dribble. When Auburn's like, what? And then remember they got fouled right after that.
Right.
They didn't call the double dribble. Well, then in the next game. They did get the call, Virginia. They did get the, they go over to the, that was against Texas Tech in the championship game where it went off the dude.
Well, we'll talk about, I have a love-hate relationship with the whole replay thing, and I haven't reconciled in my mind yet.
Well, the good funny thing about all this, did you see the story? I did send it to you. Did you see the story with the model?
Oh, yeah.
In Game 6 and the guy that came back in Game 7 in St. Louis? Now, that was hilarious. So if you didn't see it, in Game 6 of the final, or Game 6 of the second round here in Dallas, where Dallas could have clinched on Sunday, there was a pretty good-looking hot girl. Yeah. And she's an Instagram model. Because everyone after that, that was the thing. Everyone afterwards searching on Instagram, who's this girl? They got to find out, and they figured it out. I forgot what her name was, but she's from Canada.
Oh, she's from Canada?
Yeah, from Canada, which is crazy. Anywho, so she's beautiful blonde behind the head coach of the Stars. So all game long getting attention, wearing a blouse that's rather open cut,
right?
Exposing some, she looks beautiful. Regardless, so the next game, back in the series, so in Game 7, a guy in St. Louis puts a blonde wig on, puts a black little like open cut dress on too, and shows his beautiful manly hairy chest. And everyone was laughing. It was great. Like that made some rounds. That was pretty freaking hilarious. Did you know? I guess you did. I mean, you didn't see it till I sent it to you.
That's funny. Man.
But that was great. So that was kind of the good thing out of that in the end. That how that guy thought of it. Like, man, I've got tickets behind the coach. I'm going to dress
I'm doing
up.
That. I'm doing that.
I'm so doing that. That was awesome. That was too cool. So the Blues face the Sharks now in the conference finals, which could have been Dallas, which would have been great in the conference finals. Yes. And on the other side, we've got the Bruins and the Hurricanes squaring off, and the Hurricanes destroyed. I forgot. God, I wish I would have put it down. Every game, point being, they won. I think it was 10.
Are they the favorites?
Oh yeah, they swept they swept the team they were facing in the second round. The Hurricanes did, and they won. I think it was like the average, not the average differential, but they won by a total of like 14 goals. The goal differential in all games was like 14 points.
Yeah,
14 goals.
Yeah.
The last 2 or 3 games were like 5-1, 5-2.
Yeah, I'm not so sure how.
I think it was 10. Maybe it was 10. I think it was maybe 10 goals.
Even if the Stars got by the Blues, I'm not sure how much further.
Yeah, because the Sharks are really good this year. But
right.
Regardless, it was a great year. Good little run.
Fantastic.
Great for Dallas since the Mavericks didn't really do anything. Kind of kept the AC going with some sports a little bit longer.
Fantastic. And I got to tell you, man, I'm not the biggest of hockey fans, but I have to tell you, man, there's nothing like playoff hockey.
Oh, yeah.
God,
they get into it, boy.
Man, that is just something
Yeah,
else,
and seeing it
man.
live, too, because you see it on TV, and that's like anything. You see it on TV, and everyone says it about hockey, and you go see it live,
Oh, my
much
gosh.
different event. Dress warm, though. It is a little cooler in there, people.
It gets cold.
You wouldn't think it would, I mean, you get it, obviously, and then you see the experienced people. Like, some people, they're dressed fine, you know what I mean? But some people that aren't used to it, they don't go that often, like me. It's a little cooler than you think it's going to be, so dress a little warmer than you might think.
Or, when you get there, buy a big dog with a lot of jalapenos on it. That will warm you up right
in
there.
In a hurry.
Yeah, my picture I sent you when I was at the Stars
That'll
game.
hurry in a hurry.
That will warm you right up.
Oh,
my
yeah,
friend.
man. And eat all the Japs. You can't be leaving the jalapenos on the side. Eat all those bad boys.
Right.
And then, hey, if you're an experienced, and you got a driver, if you have a driver, go take a couple of shots.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. Take some hot damn, a couple shots of whiskey.
Jalapeno hot dog. Dude,
Boom, you're good to go. You got a driver.
Heck, you'll be taking clothes off.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly. All right, to the NBA side of things in the playoffs, this is where I was bringing up the points per game because this is where things get tight. Great series. I didn't think it was going to be this close with the Warriors and the Rockets.
Right.
The differential through now 6 games is right around 5 points. It was 4.5.
It's tight.
4.5. Or actually, it is 4.5 through 6 games. Because through 5 games, because game 6 is tonight. What am I thinking? Game 6 is tonight, which I will be watching. Because I love to see Houston take them to 7. Especially now that our Nuggets are having to go to 7 games, which we'll get into in a minute.
I think they will, and especially since KD is out.
And that was another thing. Now KD's out for the rest of the series with a calf.
Yeah.
Mild calf strain.
If not the rest of the season.
Yeah, but hey, if he's out for the rest of the series, that's definitely a chance for the Rockets being back home tonight to get that win and force Game 7, which then the Mo would probably kind of get. It would be about even if not back on their side, especially with KD being out.
Right.
But 4.5 points per game, that's a differential. That's crazy good basketball.
It's very good.
Thank you finally for bringing us some good basketball.
Finally.
Because I thought it literally with those 2 high-scoring teams, most games were like you usually see, and that's why I kind of push away from them until the finals, the NBA for a while. 120 to 100, 125 to 99, 117 to
right.
it'd be like a 20 or 15, and it would be each team. It'd go back and forth.
Yeah,
where
right.
I'm like, can y'all not have one game where it's like you win by 20, then they win by 20? It's like.
But I got a question for you though on basketball.
What?
And this is just something that we've observed.
Yep.
My boys and I, we laugh about this all the time because we'll have a game on, right? Like the Rockets
Yeah.
and the Warriors,
Yeah.
right? And someone will go. The Warriors will go up by 17.
Yeah.
Go up by 17. So we flip it over to We flip it over to a
Baseball game. Yeah, exactly. Something else. This is
right?
this is boring now.
We flip it over to a baseball game. And my boys are like, yeah, let's go watch baseball. We'll come back in 5 minutes and it will be a 1-point game. Right?
Yeah.
It's almost like it's staged, right? It cracks me up. How does this happen?
And because if you had Pat on, and I can't wait to ask Pat because there's one thing. The term is basketball is a game of runs, but I'm like, how do you have that many runs in a game?
Well, that's just it. That's just what cracks me up, right?
Yeah.
A team's getting blown out, and then the next thing you know, they're 1 point ahead.
Yeah. What?
Okay.
How can you be doing that well?
And this happens like
How often do you see that in football? When the
bet-
team is up 28-3, not many times the team's coming back when they're up 28-3. Or you get my point.
Well, that's
They're
right.
done. It's over.
It's over. Same thing in baseball.
Yeah.
Team goes up 5, 6, 7 runs.
It's 90% of the time you're done.
It's over.
Even if it's 75%.
But
basketball, it's like 30%. It's
Yeah,
it's probably even less than that, or it's somewhere in that range. It's probably 50 or less, which is terrible.
So we almost watch with a certain kind of skepticism, like,
Oh, right. That's me. I don't turn on until the fourth quarter and late in the fourth quarter
Yeah.
because the team which we saw in the playoffs. It was a team, Clippers on the Warriors. Biggest comeback, whatever it was. Like they were down 20-something in the fourth quarter and came back and beat the Warriors. And it's not like they're coming back and beating
listen, man, it almost makes me think of it like professional wrestling in a way. It's like,
right.
wait a minute.
Hold on, who wrote this?
Exactly.
Because, you get my point. It'd be one thing if they're coming back against, I'm just picking the Grizzlies. I'm just picking a team that's not that probably great this year, the Grizzlies, or just a team that wasn't that. You're coming back against the best team in the NBA, essentially the Warriors. Like, how did you come back from 20 down in the fourth quarter? Warriors, what are you doing?
Right.
What hole did you put your head in?
Yeah, right. It just doesn't make any sense, man.
Anyway, and another good series out west that did go into 4 overtimes I talked about, the Nuggets and the Trailblazers. I couldn't believe that game kept going. That was a game I fell asleep to. I'm like, how long is this one going for? Because the Nuggets game I tried to stay up for last night. I was going to try to watch the start of it, but when you have those late tips.
Okay, how old are you, man?
34.
And you're falling asleep at what time?
9:30.
Okay.
I want to
What
have.
the heck are you going to be doing when you're 57 like me, man? You're going to be asleep at 6:30 at night.
No. Then hopefully by then I've already made enough money in my life.
No, you're going to be on a chair with your mouth open.
That's fine. Whatever I want to do.
Flies coming in and out.
I know watching most of the best athletes, but even the best deck. Anyway, I get sleep. I want to get my sleep in. If I don't get sleep, I'm not functioning correctly. I don't feel like doing certain things. So I've realized in my life, for me, if I don't get a certain amount of sleep, don't be around me. I'm not worth being around. Well, I mean, I get my point. In my head, I'm like, I'm just not gonna work. I'm not gonna work that well that day. And then in my head, unfortunately, I'm like, okay, now I've got to get sleep tomorrow night, or I'm now putting myself that much further behind because I'm groggy and I know a lot of people say, sleep's for when you're dead. I'm like, dude, no. Sleep's one of the most important keys in your life.
It is.
To live in a long, successful life. And
but I've lived a musician's life my whole life.
There you go. Yeah. See.
So we tend to like the late nights.
Yeah. Not anymore for me. And I used to stay up till 1, 2, and I'll see myself do that, probably once, twice a month, honestly. It'll be one weekend, maybe 2 weekends a month, because it's only on the weekends where I'll find myself staying up to like midnight plus. And I'm like, wow, I did good tonight. But then here's the thing. I'm not sleeping. I'll be up at 7:30, 8 o'clock because my timer's like, okay, you've now had I hate what the only thing, and everyone, it seems like this the older you get. You can't sleep in anymore. Some people, I guess, can, but the older you get, you just cannot sleep in.
Yeah, the days of college where you sleep till noon.
Oh, those are great.
Yeah,
brother.
Those were good days, man.
I don't even think I've slept, on a consistent basis, unless it's been in Vegas or somewhere random where I'm up super late. I don't remember the last time I slept past like 10:30.
Right.
It's been a long time. But yeah, I don't know what it is, but it works for me now that I've get I'm like, it sounds like an old man where and some nights it's 10:15-ish, but if it's a weeknight,
well, man,
I'm getting ready for my stocks.
If you ever want to brave it and stay up late one night,
like 10:30,
yeah, and get right, yeah, like 10:30, right, and here you have an opportunity to get a little slice of heaven, man, to experience what heaven must be like. Turn on a West Coast baseball game.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
just turn it down nice and quiet.
Yeah,
just sit there and relax. The sounds of baseball in the background. Nice and quiet.
I can't do the pitcher cat, whatever.
Oh yeah. But that's just like a little slice of heaven there, bro. That's what it's like.
That's what my dad does because he unfortunately is not sleeps very randomly. Not that really can't sleep that well, and so he'll get his sleep in when he can, and then he always. I remember when I lived there, TV would be on till probably 2 or 3 in the morning. Whether he's watching, I don't know. But he's out there on his big chair, and that's where he would sleep. He didn't want to go back to bed and bother mom. He'd just get there and maybe turn it, and then leave it on sports and whatever it was.
That's what guys do.
And even during college basketball season, I love how they'll have those West Coast games, like Loyola Marymounts to the
I love it, man.
Gonzagas of the world that have or UCLA whatever, and have those West Coast late games. And man, you got sports on till plus midnight here.
There was nothing like a late night Dodgers game with Vin Scully.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious.
You and my dad could definitely do some talking there for sure. Well, that's why we'll get my dad on for sure. And
we got to do that.
We'll talk some old school sports, but. Back to the Nuggets Trailblazers, 3-3 apiece. Game 7 is Sunday. Since last night they lost last night. Game 7 is Sunday. In the East now, wow, which we talked about with Rob when he was here. We were wondering if the Bucks were going to have trouble with the Celtics, and it was not even close. So they just manhandled them.
Yeah.
Manhandled.
Yeah.
Already heading on.
Looking good.
Looking real good. And I'm liking our pick, Dak. I'm liking our pick. So they're gone. They're heading on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Also, Game 7 coming up on Sunday because last night, the 76ers won in a crucial Game 6. Raptors and the 76ers. Mm-hmm. Game 7 on Sunday. So definitely helping out the teams that we have Bucks all the way. So it's looking good. All these other teams are having to go to Game 7s. We'll see tonight if another 2 more teams have to go to, which I love not to see the Warriors in the finals this year. Just, to be something different. See, like I said, the Nuggets and the Bucks. But man, the Bucks, like we said,
isn't it nice to see the Bucks relevant again, man? They haven't been relevant since
look where's that? The 70s, really. They had a good run in the decent run in the 90s. They had big dog Glenn Robinson. Do you remember him? He was 44.
And they had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar before he was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yep. But so they've had a couple, and obviously
a
better
run. I can't
run.
remember what was his name before it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh my gosh, how are you putting me on?
Come on, man. I can't remember it. Our listeners are probably going to come.
Oh, I know, because and that's the thing I've seen this too in life, talking about things you've seen in life. When you get put on the spot.
I'm thinking Cassius Clay, but no, that's Muhammad Ali.
You got one of the two down. You got one
Lou
of the
Alcindor.
two. Lou Alcindor. There you go.
Alcindor. That's it.
There you go. So.
They haven't been relevant since Lou Alcindor.
Boom. So, regardless, though, great to see the Bucks. Like I said, I even love seeing the like I said, the 76ers and the Raptors. Man, obviously we knew the Raptors were going to be there and the 76ers, honestly, in a way, but just to see those teams that really haven't gotten much shine, you get my point over the last few decades. I mean, the 76ers had a great run when they had Allen Iverson, but other than that, you get a good stud, of course. This Lou Alcindor, your team will rise. But yeah, it's just good to see those old school teams. Well, 76ers, the Bucks.
I love it.
Those teams back. I'd love to see the 76ers and the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals. That'd be like 1977 all over again.
That's why I'm enjoying like the Padres right now in baseball, man.
Athletics even. Like my team. Have you seen your Cubs though? We'll get into MLB talk real quick.
Cubs.
Have you seen the record in the last 20 whatever games? I sent you that.
Yeah.
What is it? Let me pull it up real quick because I had that on Instagram. That was ridiculous. That's what I thought in their last 24. 19-5 in their last 24 games. The Cubs.
Watch out for the Cubbies.
Woo! I mean, and talking about because they still kind of have a little bit of the chemistry and the players from winning a World Series a few years ago.
Addison Russell's back now.
So watch out for them. That could have been a team under the radar that you'd probably would love to mention, but you're like, that'd be probably too homer for you. But
yeah, it would be.
Hey, time to talk some food though.
Let's do it.
Cinco de Mayo, boy! And what I thought I was going to hear music all night long. I thought we were going to have parties all around us in the neighborhood. It was rather a quiet night, I must say, honestly.
Yeah, it was, and it was in our neighborhood as well.
Maybe because it was a Sunday. Last year was a Saturday. Well, because the point being, last year it was an extravaganza in our neighborhood. It was smelled food all over, the music going on along, just puts you in a festive mood.
Right.
Regardless, still made some tacos, and this year I went all out. Of course, you go into good places and you'll get some good steak in your tacos or in your fajitas. And man, I was like, I got to go all out with this steak. I don't want like some skirt steak. I want good steak.
A little carne asada.
Try to find some carne asada. I went straight T-bone.
Ooh.
Went a T-bone on everyone.
Oh,
yeah.
You went T-bone?
I went T-bone, baby.
Okay.
Yeah, right? Instead of T-bone, went T-bone. But man, it was good.
Right.
And I've been cooking a lot more like what Steve taught it. I get that temperature up and just put it on there for just a little bit for each side.
Yeah, you don't have an egg yet, do you?
Not yet, but man, telling you that whatever. Probably because it's not the best of grills. I just got like a decent one at Walmart that was like $100. Like, oh, this will work for now. Good charcoal grill.
So you do the charcoal, get the charcoals lit.
Yep. Oh yeah. And that, like, my point being, that thing gets so hot. Like at times I've seen it up to 650, like he was talking about. I can usually get it to 550, 600, no problem. So that's what I do.
Right.
Man, I'll just go out there and put that steak on, like you said, for a few minutes each side.
It doesn't take long.
Man, I had some great, and we cooked some chicken, marinated that in the.
Do not overdo the steak, man.
Oh no.
Don't overdo the steak.
Oh, can't. Especially when you start charring it.
Yeah.
I mean,
you cannot. I don't like to eat leather.
Yeah, right. So made some steak and chicken, street tacos, and then full on tacos. We did a little bit of both, but man, it was so good. Made some fresh salsa. I get tomatoes. I get the onions, definitely 2 or 3 jalapenos in there. Get it nice and spicy. Put that in a blender. Blend it up. Boom. You got you some salsa. Throw a little salt in there.
Very nice.
Oh, brother. And then, of course, the usual cheese dip. You got to have some queso.
What's your favorite spice? Mexican spice that you use with your Mexican food? What's your favorite?
I really don't know if it's cumin or paprika.
Yeah.
Use those two a lot.
Cilantro.
Now, if you're talking about straight, like not an actual seasoning, like an actual, the thing that I season most of my food with, or even probably a lot of my Mexican food, is jalapenos. Yeah. I love a little spice. And a fresh cut. Like I was telling you, those ones at the store are the ones What?
I just had an image of you right there, man, knowing you're from Arkansas, going, my favorite spice? I tell you, man, I just love salt and pepper.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
I season everything with salt and pepper.
A little salt and pepper on my tomatoes.
A little salt and pepper.
Hey, that didn't too bad. I always put a little salt and pepper on stuff.
Is that the favorite spice in Arkansas, salt and pepper?
You always put anything I cook, there's a little salt and there's a little pepper on it. Okay. I'm not kidding you. Not the cheese dip.
No, not the cheese dip.
Not some food.
Well, hey, man, salt and pepper's been tried and true.
Oh, you can't go wrong with just a little salt and pepper.
Got to, right?
But so did it all up. Had some good tacos, but jalapeno, I'll probably half of one when I make my tuna, like tuna salad.
Yeah.
Of course,
jalapenos on everything.
Yeah, but I love the fresh cut ones. Like I said, the pickled ones that are have all the juice. Those are good.
But none of the fresh cut.
You want some
it's
some good spice
it's like
crunch.
Fresh cut tomatoes.
Oh, exactly.
Right? It's the same thing.
Oh, exactly. So, what'd you do? Anything?
Oh, yeah, man. Mama makes all kinds of homemade Mexican, from enchiladas to tacos to steak.
Oh, yeah,
to,
yeah.
You name it, man.
Did y'all have anything?
Oh yeah.
Good, yeah. The enchiladas, that's one thing too. We hadn't had those in a while. Man, I love cooking those. They're so good.
Oh my gosh, tamales.
Tamales. Was just talking about that to
Tamales.
someone earlier in the chat today because the chat was kind of slow in the stock. So at the end we were talking. This one girl was talking about tamales, and I was like, man,
It's got to be my all-time favorite right there, tamales.
Tamales. That's my dad. I think it's my dad's too.
Yeah, I just love tamales. Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah. You can get them anywhere too. You know what I mean? It's not like it's
Right.
and they're usually done. I mean, it's like. It's almost like it's all I think. That's what I love about Mexican food. Boy, if you don't know how to do it, you did it wrong. You don't. It's almost like when you have a hamburger. Like you can't cook this right. You do not need to be cooking.
I have a colleague, man. This is kind of funny. We go out for Mexican food, and we're looking at the menu, and I said, "What you order?" He goes, "I ordered the same thing you ordered." I said, "What do you mean you ordered the same thing?" He goes, "Listen, man, Mexicans are the most creative people on the face of planet Earth. They have rice, beans, and tortillas, and he goes, they just rearrange it on the plate and call it something different."
Right, exactly. I mean, they got a great.
I laugh because they are creative.
Yeah,
that's
that's
creativity.
There's not many ingredients usually.
That's right, man. What they can do with that is fantastic.
A lot.
Oh.
And even just that on a taco, I could just do that. Like have veggie taco, just have a little flour, corn tortilla, little bean, little rice, boom, done.
Oh my goodness.
Mother's Day.
Yes.
Obviously, sent my mom some lunch today. Wish I could see her. Love you so much. What are you doing on Mother's Day?
We're gonna spoil Mom. We're gonna take. My mom's getting a huge. My mother.
Yep.
88 years old, back home. Today we'll be receiving a huge bouquet of flowers.
Nice.
Oh yeah, she's
See, I do food. I do food.
You do food.
You do food. You do flowers. I like it.
Mom's doing flowers. Mom's getting flowers today from us, and then for Tam, the boys, and Gracie and me, we're going to spoil her. Get up, we're going to go to church, right? Give thanks and praise to the good Lord for all our blessings.
Haven't heard in your life.
And I was just going to say our number one blessing there is Mama. and then we're going to take Mom out for a nice Mother's Day brunch and spoil her. And then we're just going to absolutely, this will be a challenge for us, but we're going to try to make her do nothing.
Yeah. It's hard, yeah.
It's hard because she wants, she's the backbone and the heartbeat.
You get that in your mindset. You're always wanting, that's just you're always doing it. So you're like, oh, come on.
Yeah, but my boys,
that's the good thing about having them. You've got multiple hands that can do different things.
Yeah, but you know what? They're boys, man. I preached to them. I said, don't you listen? We spoil Mom today. Yeah, Dad, we got it. Yeah, we got it, Dad. We got it. Less than what? 5 minutes later, Mom, can you get us some?
Man.
It's like, come on, man, guys.
Come on,
just knock it off.
You got 2 legs.
Yeah, you got 2 legs. You got
2 arms.
Yes.
Well, let me go show you a couple of kids that don't. Maybe you'll rethink.
That's right.
Luckily, having some legs.
That's right. But no, we're gonna spoil her. We always do. And
good. I'm gonna cook. I was asking her, and she came up with last night. She loved the pot roast I did just recently. So so far, it's what we're looking like, cooking a little pot roast so far.
Nice.
So probably having an easy Sunday and
relax.
Exactly. Cook some pot roast and just relax.
Hopefully the weather will be good. We're supposed to get a lot of rain, man.
We'll see. Hey, we've had a lot of great Sundays recently. Literally, it's been raining during the week and then getting great on the weekend.
Right.
So I guess we're kind of due for a flip flop, but
right.
Hopefully maybe it'll stay clear.
Let's hope
I'm ready for some food though. I didn't eat before I came in today, so all this food talk, I'm like, oh man. But no, probably one of my. And that was what I was going to talk about. Back to that earlier. That's what I wanted to bring up. Was it's crazy to think probably the holiday where the people go out the most. Like restaurants will be so packed on Sunday. I mean, it is the one holiday where, like I said, no one wants to cook. No one's doing the dishes, and you're not letting Mom do the dishes.
Correct.
Because I'll never forget, Captain pointed me up with this on the Catfish Hole lines. Oh my God, they would be wrapped around. You've been there. We'd put them in a line outside, because there's that sidewalk up and down, because it's a longer building, wide building, and you walk in there toward the middle.
Yeah.
We'd wrap them around one side. They literally would go around this side. Like if you're facing out.
You're talking to Catfish Hole in Arkansas?
Yep. Say you're looking out the front entrance. You can go out the left, you can go out to the right. We'd line them out toward the right, and they would literally wrap around the side of the building dock. Wow. We would be full. Right. They would be wrapped around the side of the building waiting to get in.
Wow. Well, it's good food.
It is good food, but I'm like, I'm like, what are y'all doing? You really want to wait this bad for this food, but then also not to do dishes? And I'm like, God, go down to Denny's or come on. Some places got to be not packed. I know it's not the Catfish Hole, but man, of course, me at the time as a college, I'm like, my leg. How long am I gonna be standing here? I'm like, God, I'm just getting tired. You're coming around the corner.
I'll tell you a funny story on that, man. This is a funny story. When Tam and I were dating, this is how much she loves me because she's still like marrying me, man. Trying to take her out on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Right? And I screwed up. Valentine's Day is like Mother's Day, right? Every restaurant in town.
Those are the two.
Well, I screwed up, man. I waited too long. I couldn't get a reservation anywhere, right? So I said, man, let's go eat somewhere. And I said, is IHOP okay with you? Oh my God. So we went to IHOP, right?
There you go.
We pull in the IHOP. There's not a car in the parking lot.
Yeah,
There's not a car in the parking lot, right? We walked in and the staff was even like,
you're coming here
what?
for Valentine's Day?
Right?
You did this to her?
On Valentine's Day, right? So it's funny, man. We ended up having the entire restaurant to ourselves for Valentine's Day. And there was no pressure to get in or out because there was no one there.
Yeah, right.
There's literally no one there. So it became so funny. So guess where we go on Valentine's Day every year because there's no crowd?
Oh, my gosh. IHOP.
We go to IHOP.
There you go. Get your IHOP in. Might as well.
So, it's kind of a joke with us, right?
That's so funny, though.
But you're right, man. They could, skip the catfish hole and go to Denny's, man. They know,
IHOP.
ain't nobody there.
IHOP right down the road.
Yeah, there ain't nobody there.
Get you some loaded pancakes.
You
can get you some chicken there, too. I know you can. I know they got chicken on the menu.
Right.
You're wanting some catfish? Maybe not, but
right.
Stutter Dud segment, the coveted.
Yes.
Man, wow. Whoa. What? That's how I felt, literally, and still thinking about it, going like, how long it took the Kentucky Derby and how long they took with that replay. Such a dud moment. I'm sorry. Even if when they have, and it's what's funny, a lot of the guys too watching it were, and because on my dad's show they had some guy, like obviously had a journalist guy that covers it on one of the days afterward, and they're all, oh, you're wrong, blah blah. And he's like, what's so funny? And he said this. He's like, what's so funny is some of those people that y'all are naming right after the race or during the race when they're on TV were saying what I'm saying. Like, no, this is wrong. This is the wrong. But then, like, for whatever reason, and because they have that whole, like anything in life, everything's all political, they had to flip their view and say, no, the commission, whatever, called it right. He veered out too far and impeded whoever. And
I didn't even know they had lanes, man. Are there?
I didn't know there's such thing as lanes, but I don't understand how. I don't even know. That's my point. I don't understand you can call anything a lane because they're running anywhere they want to. They're trying to get in and out of horses.
And they have like 8 more horses in that race than any other race or something like that.
Yeah,
it's like 22.
There were about 20 in there.
Yeah, right.
But that's the other thing too.
Those are not small animals, guys.
No. And I know that I guess that's what they're worried about. That you interfere with someone and somehow you have a collision and now horses are flying, you got people flying, so you got health risk. I understand that. But then why are you running in that? Why are you running in that heaping mud of gross track? I know, I guess you can't really put it off. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. You see what I'm saying? But it's still like, now you're upping the level of what may happen just because of those track conditions. So if it was nice, pure dirt, nothing's going to happen. And here, what's so funny, and she's like, man, speaking of your whole, like, is this written or is this, what did you call it? Scripted. Avery even said, like, why does it seem like the last few Kentucky Derbies have been rained out? They just are wet as can be. Like, it's just like the track's like that. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, you can't force her, you know what I mean? But it is really weird how they've been dealing with those type of conditions over the last few Kentucky Derbies. But anyway, I don't like the rule. I think it's goofy. Like, my point being, like, just like in NASCAR, you can weave. You get my point. You can't. That's to me strategy. It's like baseball. It'd be like saying, okay, you can't weave in front of you can't weave in front of them. I understand the whole health thing, but that's what you're doing. Then they just have to go further outside of you. If they're better than you, I know that's their thing. Well, if he's faster than you, you're just impeding him from going around you. Well, if you're that much faster, you're gonna go around him. Like, I understand. That's my point. Like in track, you do have lanes. You have real official lanes, so you can't really do that.
Right.
So they can't fix horse racing to have a horse stay in the lane because obviously. And it usually is proven for the most part in horse racing that's why everyone goes for the inside lanes because you're.
Well, NASCAR doesn't have lanes.
Yeah, and you see what I'm saying. So that's why I think it's goofy to have that rule, and now all of a sudden, I understand maybe to have the rule, but they haven't ever used it really like this before. So, and I know some people did call in, like as in my dad's show, I only heard one person say, "Well, it's happening." Yeah, but how? That's my point. One in how many races does this happen? One in 1,000. One in a. So all of a sudden in the Kentucky Derby, and I've seen the replay and I've seen the images, some people said like 3 or 4 what they call lanes. Quit saying lane, just like call it horse links or horse white widths or whatever. That's not a lane. There's no lanes. Right. Come on, quit. It's goofy. Where are the lanes? we know what a lane is. Lanes have the dividing.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know there were lanes.
Anyway, but you do see him drift a little bit, but it is no more than what to me would be, you call it one lane or one horse width of a body. That's what it seemed like he kind of. But when you're going around a turn and it's wet, even if you and then Wally was even saying, the guy that they had on my dad's show, and I hadn't gone back to look that hard, but he is like a lot of times, yes, you can see who's behind you when they get down, they're doing this number. You know what I'm saying? When they're right. He wasn't doing that around the turn. So he really can't. Yeah, you can maybe kind of hear ish because there's a lot going on, so you can't really hear unless you're Superman. It's essentially where you know what I mean. You can't really hear him officially. Anyway, you don't see him drift that much. Is my point. And then that was what I was trying to get back to. When you're in the rain, you're riding a horse that weighs how much, and you're going how fast. It's kind of hard to go, okay, I'm going around this without any. You get my point. I'm not going to move at all. I am a robot.
Right.
It's kind of hard to stay in that non-moving without drifting is my point.
Right.
A little. You're going to drift. Let me please, all you guys run around that once, and I want to see y'all not drift at all when you go around those turns.
I'm wondering if you went back and watched previous Kentucky Derbies, if you would see anything that remotely resembled
that. And I almost was thinking that too, and I guarantee you probably have.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's the thing. It didn't interfere with him officially. It just interfered with the horses outside of him. So that then they still just called it that. And so second place regardless. So he's disqualified to second place no matter what wins. He didn't officially interfere with, what was it? Maximum Security didn't actually interfere with Country White. He interfered with the other two. So then it turns into he interfered with two horses. They have to disqualify him.
It doesn't.
Even though those two horses weren't even close to winning.
Listen.
And those two horses didn't even really affect Country White. You get my point. We're both going,
Listen, the Kentucky Derby, it hasn't been anything since Secretariat anyway, man.
Oh, yeah.
Secretariat. After Secretariat...
We've had some good horses go through, though. That's not Big Brand. We've had some good ones. Even the one that won Triple Crown a couple years ago.
Secretariat kicked their butt.
Exactly. Regardless, I'm right there with you anymore. People think it's kind of fixated.
See, I'm showing my age, man.
And, just regardless.
I love Secretariat.
It's just funny
I grew up with Secretariat.
I know, but it's just funny people calling in, like when you hear him calling him, they were telling him how wrong he was, and I'm like, this is the goofiest thing. Like that horse would not have won. The better horse won. That's what I even hear. I forgot what trainer, whoever it was during the show, and he was so upset with the call watching it that Saturday. And I kind of had to keep rewinding, going, "What are we even doing here?" Because I didn't know what we were doing at first. I watched it and I thought what the Maximum Security won. I thought it was done and over with. Then I'm walking around the house doing stuff Saturday, and I'm like, we're still on. What's going on? This isn't over with because we're not crowning the winner. You know what I mean? I'm like, what's going on? So then I literally have to rewind and go for like 15 minutes, and I see them doing the replay because it took like 20, 30 minutes for this to happen. I'm like, we're really replaying horse racing? What? This is a real thing? What? And then when I see what they're showing me, and then I hear the guys even agreeing with me, like I don't care. Anyone out there, that was the right call. That is the dumbest right call I've ever heard in my life. That is dumb. That would be like saying, well, when I run down the field and I'm trying to catch a pass, if you get in front of me, defender, you get my point. Like as in like pass interference. How often is pass interference called? Not that much. Usually there are some ticky-tack calls. You get my point. Defenders are getting in the way a lot of the time of wide receivers. Called all
the time if you wanted to.
Exactly, and they're not calling it. And what are they doing? Interfering, impeding the wide receiver.
Right.
I'm just so done with this.
Man, the Kentucky Derby's got you wound up, man.
Oh, it's just good. Well, just the people that think it's the right call. I'm like, the best horse one. Let's get those two out there again. I guarantee you, Maximum Security. And guess what? Here's the goofiest thing of it all. Neither one of the two are running in the Preakness.
Yeah, funny. Yeah.
So we're definitely not having a Triple Crown winner, even a fake. Even if Maximum Security did win the next two legs, and we kind of had a fake one. I'm like blinking here, all over goofy, but you get my point. Like a fake one.
Right.
Neither one of them are racing in the Preakness now. Done. That's why I'm like, horse racing's so dud. I love going to Oakland. I love horse racing, but when that stuff happens, it just turns like the casual, kind of normal, fan off.
Yeah, the sport doesn't need that.
LeBron, does he even want a head coach? I don't know how much he was in on this, trying to get Tyrone Lue in.
Didn't he just leave Tyrone Lue?
Yeah, and also, did Tyrone Lue just not get canned by the Cavs because he started this year 0-6?
Correct.
What do you want that? He's not a coach. That is just a former player that just listens to LeBron and says, hey, here's what we're going to do.
That's why LeBron wants him.
Exactly. I don't get it. And so I'm glad it slowly but surely has not even been an issue anymore. LeBron he's not the GOAT. Like, I know we hadn't seen that conversation anymore.
We're talking about trading LeBron.
Exactly. And I'm like,
yeah, you think he should have stayed in Cleveland?
I wish he would have, just for his own sake. As much as I really kind of dislike, I mean, he's a great player, but dislike him of what he's done, and he hasn't really stayed true to that. And people that want to argue and call him the GOAT. I'm like, goats don't do this. As in, go. You see my hand anyway. They don't go from this team. Let me build this team. Let me go back to this team and build it. Okay, now I'm done with that team, even though that's where I'm from. Let me go out to LA because I want to. What?
You watch, man. He'll try to go back to Cleveland.
I know, that would be.
You watch.
All those fans, which just shows you how terrible fans are. I'm like, Merriweather. Well, that burn his jerseys probably for the second time. We'll be like wearing them for going to get a third one.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, geez, such a dud. 2 duds in a row there.
Yes.
But to a stud. And I hope your son gets the chance to play for this great teacher. Because I'm going to call him a teacher. He's not a coach. He's a teacher and a mentor.
He is a teacher.
But Dave Van Horn, one of only 9 active coaches to have 1,000 career D1 wins.
Quite an accomplishment.
When you think about that, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's
and then you see the list, which is even crazier, how far down he is. Even people, there's the guy at Florida State, 2,000 wins.
Yeah.
Woo! That's a career. But yeah, even just getting to 1,000, that's, obviously a milestone in itself. So that's, and he's up to 1,300 in his full career, but 1,000 D1 wins is just.
Yeah, and he is a teacher. That's the appropriate title for him. He's great with those college boys. And
proven. A lot of these guys, when you get them in, I know that a lot of, like the guy, like I said, from Lone Oak, Casey Martin. That guy, you get my point, could just expands it even more. Even if some of the guys come in, you never really heard of them. He makes them into great players. The guys that come in that should be studs, makes them even bigger studs. It's not like a lot of coaches will get in studs and they kind of never. I'm like, well, if he had a good coach, I bet could have been even. Right. He kind of just fell off there.
Right.
So, Dave Van Horn,
stud. Yes.
Definitely. And especially nice having an Arkansas sport, once we talked about the big man on the hill, and unfortunately not getting any recognition a little bit. But when I looked up, even just typed in that, Dave Van Horn, 1,000, you think it'd just be like story after, there was like 3 stories that covered it, and most of them were Arkansas.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Like I didn't even see an ESPN article.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible.
I wish I'd get back, and maybe one day they hear him, I'm like, man, love to rearrange ESPN.
If it was an NCAA football coach, it'd be like all over.
Oh my God, they'd have him on, they interview him.
3 months.
Literally, they do one of those special 4 or 5 minute segment pieces on it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It is sad, but yeah, just congrats though. Regardless, Dave, I know you don't care, probably don't care about worrying about all that. Like we kind of wish you had the recognition you get,
Absolutely.
or any of the other coaches, or even baseball. You know what I
Correct.
mean? The college baseball that needs to be more recognized, because Baum Stadium up there in Fayetteville has been packed every week, and I guarantee you, unlike the basketball team, unlike the football team, and people are loving it.
Correct.
Eating some dogs, Doc.
Eating some dogs.
Oh man, I'd love to watch a good spring game up there, April 15th.
You need to take a road trip up there.
We need to next year.
Yeah.
We should do that.
It'll
be our little. We should do a little a spring road, whatever you want to call it, spring tour.
Yeah.
Spring training.
Do a little stun Dutch.
We'll start with spring. We'll do like 4 weeks in a row. Start with spring training. Do like 4 weeks. Do one the next week, and then end with going up to Fayetteville.
I like it. Like how you're thinking, man.
All right. Hey, on next week's show, big event. It snuck up on us because they're moving a lot of these events that were later in the year back early in the year. The PGA Championship is next week.
That's right.
Tiger now back in action for the first time since winning the Masters.
Well, let's see how he does.
Because I was wondering what he'd do after the Masters if he'd do any prep rounds leading into any of these bigger tournaments. Because I knew they were earlier this year. I forgot to look when they were. It's been a month, so boom, he took a month off. Let's see if he's rusty. And I'm not gonna be shocked if he comes out there and barely even makes the cut, but then point being finishes like 30th. Not surprised at all, and I'm not worried at all.
Right.
Took a month off after winning the Masters.
Right.
Totally do.
Right.
Not surprised. It'd be like a stock if it went from $1 to $10 in a day. I'm not surprised if that stock goes back down to $5 or $7. Right. It's just kind of bound to happen.
Yeah, and speaking of golf, you know why it's raining this week and this weekend? You know why that is. The Byron Nelson.
Exactly.
That's unbelievable.
It happens,
it's
right?
It's unbelievable.
Because I covered that event a couple years for the ticket. I was like, I want to,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Every year it happens.
It's kind of like I said, it's like the Kentucky Derby the last 2 or 3 years. Like, what's going on here? Who's doing this? What government system is in charge of our weather?
Right.
But next week's show, Tiger Woods, the PGA Championship. Certainly talk about that. We'll see who's battling out for the NBA Finals because conference finals will be in full force next Friday. So
the conference.
Exactly.
Right.
This round will be done. So conference finals will be in full force next Friday. We'll know who's facing each other. Hopefully our Bucks and the Nuggets. Obviously our Bucks are there, but hopefully our Nuggets can pull through. Yeah. We got, like I said, Game 7's on Sunday, so good basketball on Sunday. Tonight, Game 6, Houston. Come on, pull through for us. I want to see a Game 7. I want to see the Warriors get pushed.
I think it's going to happen.
But all that and much more next week. And don't forget to follow us. Let's see what we got. Literally now, don't forget, we are on Spotify. You asked for it. We have it now, Doc.
Yep.
iTunes, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud. Get out there, follow, listen to we got all the episodes up, even on the website right here.
Hang on,
you got
man.
all the episodes up from YouTube, by the way.
Look, dude.
Yeah, look at this website, by the way, people. Look at that.
Look at this.
Is that not beautiful?
And look right down here.
Look at the guests, and then right down there it has, oh, there you go. All the podcasts available on.
There they are. SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio.
Then, like I said, we put all the videos up on YouTube, so get out there and subscribe on YouTube. You actually see our faces, see our guests, so we're not just lying or we're putting fake voices in.
Correct.
Being those weird podcasts like I used to do where I had fake callers.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, right. But yes, check out the website, studanddud.com. It's looking beautiful, Doc.
Yep.
Thank you all for listening. Another week. Episode 10 is in the books. Next week, episode 11.
Awesome.
Cannot wait. Thank you all for listening.
Likewise.
Till next week, I'm Josh Smith.
I'm Doc Lawrence.
Peace.